Back then, the game of basketball was much more physical, and players excelled by dominating the paint with their quickness and excellent post moves. But it's all about shooting now: jump shots, catch and shoots, and pull-ups. The NBA is now primarily a shooting league. So we're in the age of the three-point shot, and the shooting has unquestionably become the most valuable basketball skill. We'll go through some interesting shooting statistics, compare them across eras, and name the best shooters of each NBA decade in this article.
We all wish we had more disposable income. Some extra cash to put towards a well-deserved vacation, or even just to cover your monthly rent. With Commission Hero, you'll learn the easiest way to make money online from a proven system that's worked for thousands of students. Simply register for the free webinar and learn how Commission Hero can help you make that extra cash.
Number 6. 1960s Jerry West and Bill Russell. Jerry West, like his protege Kobe Bryant, was obsessed with basketball since the early 1960s. He was never pleased with his performance, no matter how talented he was. It was almost incomprehensible how someone who is so self-critical could become a cold-blooded scoring machine over the course of a 14-year career that began in 1960. West's most memorable shot was a Hail Mary against the Knicks in 1970 finals, when the Lakers were down by 2 with the seconds to go, and West hit a 60-foot jumper from half court to the forced OT. West would have been the league's first genuine marksman if the three-pointer had existed during this time. He wasn't just a jack of all trades, he was a master of most of them. You've earned your spot in the top 4 when you have more championship rings than fingers. Bill Russell was the consummate winner and teammate, forsaking individual stats for team success, as the Celtics won 11 titles in 13 seasons, a record that has never been repeated. He beat Wilt and West in head-to-head battles numerous times, and he even won 2 championships as player-coach in his final 3 seasons. Russell comes to mind when you think of winning, making him one of the greatest NBA players of all time. Number 5. 1970s Pete Maravich and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Pistol Pete appeared to be playing basketball as if it were an exhibition game in the park rather than a professional setting fraught with pressure and great expectations. His theatrics knew no bounds, and you could practically count on the behind-the-back pass or an assist without even looking. Apart from his ball handling and passing abilities, Markovich was a fantastic shooter in 2000s, and Pete is still the all-time leading scorer in the college basketball, averaging 44.2 points per game in 3 seasons. LSU. Let's start with the facts. Abdul-Jabbar is the NBA's all-time top scorer. In a 10-year period, he was voted MVP 6 times and finished in the top 5 in voting 9 times. His 2 final MVPs were 14 years apart, demonstrating his illustrations career as a top player. He holds the records for most minutes played, and as an added bonus, his sky hook is the most famous shot in basketball history. Number 4. 1980s Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. Bird was a strong argument for becoming the greatest player in history, despite claiming that drawing the line 23 feet and 9 inches from the basketball was superfluous. Bird immediately proved to be the most lethal long-range marksman. The average team looked 2.8 three-pointers per game the year, and the three-pointer was invented. Also one of the 3 with a score of more than 40%. Larry's remarkable shooting abilities spawned one of the most vicious trash-talking stories in NBA history. Larry had a habit of telling his opponents what he was going to do and then doing it. He shot a complete game with his left hand during 1986 season just because he was bored and needed new challenges, and he ended up with 47 points. Michael Jordan, whose name says it all, is one of the finest players of the 1980s, having been named to be the NBA's all-decade 1980s All-Stars squad by 2K Sports. Michael Jordan is without a doubt one of the best players the league has ever seen. Mike was regarded as a basketball god in addition to being one of the most influential players. His amazing gameplay and achievements have enthralled followers to this day. Michael is responsible for the Chicago Bulls becoming one of the greatest sports dynasties in history. Number 3, 1990s Reggie Miller and Magic Johnson. Miller has 2,563 points in his career and is one of the only 9 players in NBA history to hit the 50-40-90 milestone. He was the league's best free throw shooter 5 times and is currently rated the 12th all-time in free throw accuracy, 89. He scored 8 points in 9 seconds against the Knicks in a game-winning jumper in 1994 after pushing Jordan away with a 14-foot buzzer beater against the Nets in 2002 finals. In an era of positionless basketball, calling Magic the greatest point guard ever is no longer enough. He's just one of the top 5 players of all time. Johnson, a rookie playing center in place of an injured Kareem, put up 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals in one of the 5 most famous performances in NBA history to help the Lakers win in the 1980 title. We'll almost certainly never see another player like Magic because of his size, full court speed, post-game ball skill, and dramatic flair. Number 2, 2000s Ray Allen and Kobe Bryant. Ray Allen did everything Reggie Miller did in 1990s, but he went one step beyond and set the standard even higher. Ray, who averaged more points than Reggie in his heyday, established the NBA Finals record for the most threes in a game. He ever won the championship in 2008, something Miller never did, and then in 2013 Finals, Ray came up with his nickname and saved Miami in Game 6, exactly like Jesus. Allen could pull up and kill you from almost anywhere. He could just catch and shoot it with his ability to spread the floor, becoming ultimate scorer, and never slowing down until his retirement. On the other hand, Kobe, a 2-time scoring champion, is the 4th leading scorer of all time, and is unlikely to be surpassed anytime soon. He was voted MVP of the Finals twice, and of the league once. Did he always use his ability in the most fruitful ways? That's unlikely though, and his efficiency is what keeps him in this position. On a basketball court though, there was nothing he couldn't do, mentally, physically, and a few players have ever won more. He had to be doing something, right? Right. Number 1, 2010. Stephen Curry and LeBron James. This guy broke Ray Allen's records merely to keep breaking his own. And the sky appears to be the limit for the guy, who can score from half court like a layup. He has unrestricted range and lots of scoring options, putting him in good company on his journey to 50-40-90 club. The only unanimous MVP in the league history is also the driving force behind one of the greatest teams and runs in history. Curry is without a doubt the best shooter the game has ever produced, breaking and redefining all records and perceptions of what it means to be a shot maker. The Warriors have never won 3 championships without him. Each period ushers in a new player with molds and transforms the game, whose presence and accomplishments alter the sport's fundamental nature. Curry, who is still only 32 years old, is the generation's version of that player. James has earned his place here, and he isn't done yet. 3 more full seasons at last year's performance, a difficult but not impossible challenge for a 35-year-old, all-the-time athlete in an era of superstars. Furthermore, he frequently defies the passage of time, which would see him pass Kareem as the game's all-time points leader. He has a chance to become the first player to win the Finals MVP award 3 times with 3 different teams. Of course, there are still more rings to be found. With only one space to go, and all-timer is still carving out his place in the game. And that was it for today's video, folks. Who is your favorite out of these? Let us know in the comments section below and share it with the NBA fans. See you next time.